All right, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Can somebody let me know you can see me, you can see my screen, and that you can hear my voice? I know I'm running, let's see, we usually get about a 5 to 6 second delay based on what I can see, so we are going to let everyone settle in here. We've got, what do we got? We got about a little over a minute till the close, and then we'll give everyone about a minute after that to get over here for all the truly degenerate traders that have to trade right up until the bell. Sometimes I'm one of those. I would never call somebody something I'm not willing to cop to myself, right? How'd everybody do today? Red or green? Give me a red or green. You can give me amounts if you want, but I'm just interested in red and green. Great trend day. Perfect day to be talking about trends, which we're going to get to in a couple of minutes. All right. Thank you for everybody letting me know. All right. So we've got kind of an informal talk today, talking about trends, how to recognize trends, how to play trends. And then we've got a giveaway, guys. We have got a giveaway. So per usual, we have got two $25,000 account giveaways, which thanks to our good friends here at the Blue Sky Trading Company. Also a big shout out to my main man Raj on the controls in our home office once again. It's Thursday, guys, which means and the markets are now closed. Wait, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Okay, now the markets are closed. Ding, ding, ding. So we'll give everyone 1 minute to get here, and then we will get going. In the meantime, let me go ahead and put this up really quickly, guys. You've seen these disclaimers before, guys, but we put them up because they're important. So I'll leave this up for just a minute, let you guys give this a read. All right, so I see some green. That's good. Mostly green. That's very, very positive. I like to see that, guys. So before we get into the main topic, guys, at some point in the next couple of weeks, let me give you, once again, before we get going, let me talk about the giveaway, because that's why, hey, you're going to learn a little bit, but we're here for the giveaway, right? I'm not eligible for the giveaway, but I'm still here to give away to you. So you have to like this video and subscribe to the BlueTube YouTube channel. Excuse me. And you are allowed to enter once. I will post the link in about 5 minutes. And once that link is in there, you can enter once. The winners, we go back and make sure you have it enter once. If you enter more than once and you win, you are ineligible for, first of all, you don't win, and then you're ineligible for all future giveaways. So, but we will put that link out in about 5 minutes. Actually, we've got our main topic talking about trends in a couple of minutes, but I want to talk a little bit about my year-end routine. Excuse me. I'm a little congested today, guys, so I apologize. The whole family's kind of coming off of a little bit of a cold. So just, I'm on the other end of it, but if I sound a little weird or congested or I sniffle a little bit, apologies in advance. But we're going to power through this because that's what we do as traders, right? So we are in the last week of November. Obviously, December starts next week. We're getting into the Christmas season, the holiday season. I believe Christmas and New Year's are on a Monday this year. Yes, that's correct. So I hate when they're in the middle of the week. I hate when Christmas is like on a Wednesday and New Year's is, obviously a week later on Wednesday, because it really disrupts 2 full weeks of trading, right? Like usually if Christmas is on a Wednesday, maybe Monday and Friday are normal days, but it takes really 3 full days, if not an entire week, out of commission. It's a little frustrating. But basically, we just get a couple of 3-day weekends this year. The day after Christmas, the day after New Year's. Actually, the day after New Year's will be a great trading day. But the day after Christmas, probably that week will be a little light. Traditionally, the week before New Year's is a little light. A lot of the big money goes on vacation. So this is a tradition of mine, I always kind of take December to reevaluate every part of my trading career, right? And I don't have a slideshow for this or anything, guys, because your mileage may vary on things like this. Just a second, guys. All right, there we go. So your mileage may vary on these particular things, but so for example, for next week, and I've been thinking about this the last 2 or 3 weeks, but next week I'm going to sit down, I'm going to pull up maybe most, if not all of my trades from the year, start looking at trends, and you do this throughout the year, but it's going to be a little more of a formal process. In the end of next week, I'm going to start evaluating any changes that I'm going to make going into 2024. Well, Matt, you're a consistent trader, you make a good amount of money. What changes would you like to make? Well, first of all, I'm going to evaluate every strategy that I have. Is there a strategy that, quite frankly, is not pulling its weight, right? I have about 4 to 5 setups that I trade predominantly on a day-to-day basis. And so I'm constantly keeping track in general of how those particular strategies are going, but is there any strategy that needs to be adjusted or thrown out entirely, right? It's been a couple years since I've thrown them out entirely, and I can tell you right now, there's none that are going to get that treatment, but I still go through the process. Day after day, week after week, year after year, I go through the process of adjusting my trades. So I'm going to tell you one of the biggest changes that I am already kind of predetermining at the end of this. I'm scaling up a little more. As you know, I've been a full-time futures trader for about 5 years now, a little more. And I started with all of you. The first year, I was profitable my first year, but barely, right? And I spent almost 8 months in the sim before I made a single live trade. And so I had some consistency early on, went from the micros to the minis. I still trade some micros sometimes depending on the strategy and the instrument. But right now, and guys, again, your mileage may vary. And if you're in your first couple years of trading, please don't go up to a high position size. I don't care if it's a practice account, a demo account, an eval account, a funded account, a blue live account. I don't care. But I'll tell you this just so you can see. I'm 5 years in, and my biggest position size, with a couple exceptions, is 3 minis. Okay, so listen, I know there's guys out there, the YouTube traders, and there's people that will trade a ton of minis, and if they have the account size and the consistency to do that, that's great, right? Trading is an individual thing. We all have to do what's best for us. I'm going to go up to 4 next year. So that's one of the major changes that I'm going to make, because what have I told you, for those of you that have attended these events quite a bit, what have I told you is trading, right? Finding a strategy that works, even just one, and scaling it, right? All you need to do, guys, see, we throw these wild numbers out there. And listen, I know you have to hit certain numbers for evals and funded and all that, right? But in reality, trading, again, it's never easy, but it is very simple. All you have to do is find just a strategy. Let's say you find a strategy that trading 5 micros, okay, ES, NQ, GC, MC, whatever, can average, and you're not going to hit this every day, of course, you're going to have red days, but can average $500 a week, so $100 a day, right? And ideally, it's something, you don't need to make 500 trades to get there. You can trade maybe 15 times, 10 to 15 times in the entire week, and you can average $500 a week, so about $100 a day. That's not the sexiest thing in the world, guys, right? But it's a start. And if you can do that with 5 micros, making $500 a week, and then you go to 10 micros or a single mini, depending on how your strategy scales, right? Now all of a sudden that 500 becomes 1,000. Then you go up to 2, 3, 4, and now all of a sudden, again, if that's $500 a week, $100 a day, now all of a sudden you're $3,000 a week, $5,000 a week, $10,000 a week. Okay, so now all of a sudden that little bit that maybe doesn't seem that impressive, and you're scaling it, and again, you do it gradually. That's how you make money in this game, guys. You really don't need anything other than a single strategy that can provide you $100 a day. And guys, $100 a day will get you, you may have to go over, again, on average, you're not going to hit that every single day, but you may have to pay for a couple of months of a subscription fee for an eval account. But if you get it on a good price on one of the discounts they do, that'll get you funded in 30 trading days on average, again. And you're going to have losses. You're going to probably have a day that you lose 300 or 400. So I'm putting together, I told you guys this last week, I'm in the process of putting together a little worksheet that lets you plug in some numbers and kind of see your timetable to making a certain amount of money. It's all going to be with a disclaimer and a grain of salt, because again, you're going to have losses, and especially outsized losses as a newer trader. But Guys, we get so zoned in and so focused on these huge numbers, right? And I want you to make $100,000 a month. Like, I want that for you. Okay. And quite frankly, I hope you have some really cool and really awesome and really big long-term goals. Okay. But we have these long-term goals and we somehow think it's 3 steps to get there, right? Whereas it's really many steps and it's about scaling over a long period of time. Okay. Whereas I started with, again, 5 micros, I'm going to be at 4 minis, and it took me years to get there. Okay. Now, if those go well, I'll probably move up to 5 mid-year, and that's where I'll be probably for a year or two. I don't anticipate going much higher than that just because my strategies scale to that point, and then I'll have to evaluate pretty consistently how much I go up, right? Again, when you're scaling up, you have to be mentally ready to take the losses that come with that, right? So let's say, again, with the 5 micros, I'm trying to make $200. I'm risking $100 to make $200. Okay, seeing a $100 red thing on your screen, red little P&L, that shouldn't affect us too much, right? It's $100, even if that's our own personal money. Oh yeah, $100 is sucks, right? But losing that should not knock us off our chairs at all, right? But then when you're 10 times size, right, many years down the line, now all of a sudden looking at a $100 loss becomes a $1,000 loss. Okay, and guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're within your first couple years of trading, you should not be taking 4-figure losses. You just shouldn't. Okay. It amazes, guys, it truly, and it amazes me how quickly some of you blow out evals. Okay. And that's not to put you down, or that's not to, it's just, you know, it's insane. Okay. You lose an eval in a week or two. That's still pretty quick, but okay. Maybe you took, 6 $500 losses, that didn't make up for wins or didn't cancel out wins over the course of a few weeks. All right. Okay. I still think that's fast, but at least I get it. But those of you that have, oh no, it's $2,000 on a $50,000 account. So all you need is $400 or $500 losses, guys. So if you take a $1,500 loss, you're right there. And at that point, most of you just YOLO into a trade anyway, right? Good habits don't develop overnight, and good habits can be broken very, very easily. You have to stay disciplined. You have to stay consistent, okay? I don't ever recommend YOLOing in anything, right? Because and I've talked to a lot of you in coaching sessions and all that, which I had some people asking me about that. I'm booked up for the year, guys. Sorry. I'll if you guys are really interested, I'll bring some back in January. I'm booked up for the rest of the year. So many of you will say to me, well, I had this account, and most of you are with Blue Sky, but I know some of you guys are other places as well, which you shouldn't be. You should be with Blue Sky. But, so you have $2,000 to lose on usually a trailing drawdown, right? I know trailing drawdowns, they are annoying, but I think they're very necessary for the discipline that it takes to become a good trader, okay? Because if it's a static, I know they have, a lot of places have static accounts. I think Blue Sky static is what, $600-something loss or $800-something loss. And, Gold and thank you very much for the 25 rules plug. I appreciate that. I don't have any links today, guys. If you're interested in that course, it's a $30 course. Message me. I'll send you the link to purchase it if you want. I'm not plugging anything today. We just put this together about 24 hours. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. Okay. I don't, guys, I'm a contractor here. I don't officially work for Blue Sky. So I want to address what was just said. Why do you have trailing drawdowns? That's the only thing stopping me and others. Quite frankly, if that's the only thing stopping you from becoming a good trader, you need to get better. That's it, guys. And again, it's not we. I don't make the rules, right? I'm just a contractor, a third-party education provider that Blue Sky invites to do these events because they care about your education and they want you to pass. Okay, guys. When I started doing these events, I actually went back and looked at my personal account over almost 5 years. Okay, and how I do my personal account. I have, it's not exactly 50 grand, but it's close to that in there. And every quarter I scrape off the top, take the money that I need to live, put some in, for IRA, some to pay bills, some for savings, and then I start back over, right? The number of times I would have had a $2,000 drawdown off my high would have been twice in the past 4 years. Okay, so don't tell me the only thing keeping you from being successful is the trailing drawdown. Do I agree they're annoying? Yes. Do I understand why Blue Sky and other companies have them? Yes. Because they're going to give you their money to trade eventually, right? You get into you go through the Blue Live, you get into the brokerage. They're giving you their money to trade. Okay, you better damn sure know what you're doing at that point. Because if you lose, you go through all that, you lose that, you're back to square one. Okay, so honestly, guys, I so many people complain about the trade, and if the trailing drawdown's that annoying, guys, get a static account. That's it. If you fail 100 trailing accounts and then you're successful in 5 drawdowns, then static accounts, then I'll believe you that that was the only thing holding you back. Yeah, guys, don't lose $1,000 if you're in a $50,000 account. Eval, don't lose $1,000 on a trade. Don't do it. And if you get into a trade and you're down 1,000 10 seconds into the trade, your damn position size is too big. I don't know how many more ways to say that, guys. The number of $1,000 lost trades I've taken this year is 7. That's it. And I trade 15 to 20 times a week, sometimes more. Okay, again, your mileage may vary. Your trading style and all that may differ a lot from mine, but there are certain principles that are universal. And guys, I can tell you this because I started as a small cap stock trader, moved to large cap stocks, moved to large cap options, and eventually went into futures. I've had success at every level, and there are principles of trading, things like position size, things like trading psychology that, guys, they're universal. If you can't manage your emotions, you can't trade marbles, let alone futures contracts if you can't manage your emotions. I see we're getting some good debate in the comments, which is great, guys. That's what we're here for, right? All right, we're 15 minutes in. We haven't even touched on the topic yet, and that's okay. I want to talk about trend today, guys. And I don't have any slides prepared. It's not death by PowerPoint today. Let me get in my opening. So this is, when did we start here? 8:30 Central, so 9:30 Eastern. This is the New York Open, right? Are you teaching something or just Q&A? Damn, we're a little impatient today. We're teaching. Easy, man. No, I'm kidding. It's cool. Oh, let me get you before we get in here, guys, let me get you the link to sign up. So again, for those that came in a little late, here is, I'm going to put this in and my man Raj can sticky it. There is the form to sign up for the giveaway. Blue Sky is giving away 2 one-month subscriptions to their $25,000 eval account, okay? You have to like this video and subscribe to Blue Sky's channel to be eligible, okay? We will do those probably about a half hour. We'll do the drawings. And you can enter once. If you enter more than once and you win, you don't not only get your prize taken away, but you're banned from all future giveaways. So you enter once. All right? No, I'm just giving you crap, Amar. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. I want to play off of Zephyr's point there. Okay, I can't emphasize this enough. If you go in tonight and open a new $50,000 eval account, when you wake up to trade it tomorrow, I don't want you to look at that account as it's an eval account. You know, I can do it. It's an eval account. Cost me $80, whatever, right? No, I want you to look at that as $50,000 of your own money. I swear to God, look at it like that, train your brain, and you can do that. You can trick your brain on a lot of those things. Okay, imagine when you're down $700, $800, and you're just praying for something to go back. Imagine if that was your money, your personal brokerage account. You would not be taking the losses that you're taking if this was your money. If you get into bad habits and evals, they will, law of averages says even if you're a bad trader, you can pass an eval after a certain amount of time, right? You get hot, you get a good streak. But if you failed 100 evals, didn't change anything, and then passed one, you're probably going to lose that account very, very quickly. Okay? So develop good habits. Okay? People have asked me, hey, I want to get into futures trading. I've heard about some of these funded accounts. What do you recommend? And of course, I always tell them I recommend companies like Blue Sky that eventually put you into a live brokerage account. But I tell them, don't go in and say with $100, on a eval fee that's all you need, right? Well, that's 100. I get a data feed, I get access to an inch trader or whatever. No, I tell people to budget at least $1,000, so you have a couple of resets, you have a few months of fees if you need them. You have the ability to subscribe to something like TradingView, or get a trading journal, which usually costs between $150 and $200 annually, per year. So that's the really important point. So too many people, guys. You'll tell me. And listen, everybody's situations are different right now. You're in this to make money, so money might be tight, right? And you say, I got to save up a couple weeks to afford an eval. How about save up a couple of months so you can afford a few I don't mean you buy a bunch of evals. I know you can. But I mean you have an eval, you have a couple of months where you're not sweating it, so you're not feeling rushed. You got fees for a couple of resets. Maybe you got fees for an extra data feed or something, I'm just in general, or, whatever your... some places, I know you can get like a free Trade-Evate sign in with these places, but you have to, sometimes you got to pay for extra features, and maybe you want those extra features. I'm not saying you have to have them or anything like that, but yeah, give yourself some mental room, guys, right? Okay. Not trading like the evals, or not trading the evals like my own money was the major reason I would blow accounts. Yeah, it's too easy to get into gamblers. And guys, I'll be honest with you, probably half of the people most aren't here because the gamblers don't show up to events like this for the most part, although some of you are probably here, or at least the ones who are unwilling to break their gambling mentality. Are the ones that... are going to have the most success, right? I got a lot of these things I say, guys, I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because you guys are taking the time to be here on a Thursday afternoon, right? Tomorrow's Friday. I like to only work half-day Fridays, right? I'll trade first 3 hours in the morning, then I'm done. I've got a couple of big schedule changes, some that you guys will hear about fairly soon. Coming into the new year, they're going to basically have me, doing a lot of stuff Monday through Thursday, and then lighten up on Friday. And that's okay. I'm sorry. We need to get going on this topic because we're already 20 minutes in. Why y'all keep distracting me with these good questions? Actually, I'm kidding. I could do a whole hour of just Q&A, guys. We'll do those from time to time. I mean, I like to have a topic, but honestly, there's nothing like when I first got trading, I loved to attend webinars and stuff like this, but there were times I just wanted to sit down with somebody who did this for a living and pick their brain. Right? Because you can ask, like you and I could sit down one-on-one and you could ask me 100 questions. If one of those helps you to not take a loss next time, the whole time was worth it, right? Or just teaches you one little bit. So, yeah, you should need to put your YouTube username in that form. I don't have the form pulled up. So, guys, for those that came in late, up at the top here, you see this is sticky. You click on this, that'll take you to the form, and you fill out everything there to sign up. We will be taking signups for 20 more minutes, and then we will do the drawing. All right, guys, so I do want to talk a little bit about trend. So who can ask, or who can answer me, what is a trend? Just very simple. What is a trend? So I know there's a little bit of a lag, so let me take a drink while you guys are typing. What is the textbook definition of a trend? And I've said this in here before, so those of you that attend my events on a regular basis should know exactly the answer to this question. Of course, you have to both attend regularly and pay attention, so. By the way, guys, and I don't shy away. We all have advantages and disadvantages in our trading. I'm diagnosed ADD, so I have major attention issues, right? So when I attend events like this, if you're like me, and especially in the in this day and age with all of our devices and all that kind of stuff, I highly recommend a pen and paper right next to your computer. So if you attend an event like this, take notes, right? Even if it's just something that's benign that you'll never use again, by taking notes and getting your brain into the mode of processing what you're hearing, very, very important. Okay, none of you are wrong in what you're saying, but the textbook definition of a trend, let me get my drawing tools up here. So, for example, for an uptrend, let's talk about an uptrend for just a second here. The textbook definition of an uptrend, hold on, lost my comments. Okay, the textbook definition of an uptrend is a series of higher highs. Let's get that a little better. And higher lows. Higher high. Higher high. Higher high. Higher low. Higher low. Okay? That's the textbook definition of an uptrend, a series of higher highs and higher lows. And then obviously the downtrend is a series of lower lows or lower highs and lower lows. Okay? Now, ideally, that's how the markets would move every day, right? Just nice little like this, and then we break it, and then we head down, right? Like that would be great, but in reality, that's just not how things work. Okay, so let's take a look at today. So we opened. We're making a series of lower lows, lower highs. We're pretty much completely we're in a confirmed downtrend. Really until, I mean, technically we're in a confirmed downtrend till here. Now, really, the trend starts to go sideways in here, right? Because we stop making lower lows at that point. So here's a little bit of a higher low, slightly higher high. I don't know if this is enough for me to completely break a trend, but to reverse the trend. But we're certainly in a situation where we move from a downtrend to kind of a neutral trend at that point, right? And then we start higher high. You know, this was our previous low here, so higher low. And we kind of were on a moderate uptrend into the close. Okay, so what are some ways that we can identify a trend? Okay, what are some technical tools? Well, first of all, we can use something as simple as moving average crossovers, right? Do I have any of those up? No, I don't. We can use candlestick charts, and we can use Renko charts. Renko charts are very nice for identifying some short-term trends, right? And they can even show us a little bit of trends within what on candlestick charts can appear pretty neutral, right? And Renko charts are really nice, guys, to just put eyeballs on a couple times a day. Like, listen, it doesn't take a CMT, a chartered market technician, to know that this is a downtrend, right? This is pretty easy, okay? But it can get a little more complicated. Sorry. As we're in here, right? See, so what range is this? So this is kind of about a 40, 50 point range, guys. There's stuff to be done in here. But when we're not trending, again, so today we basically had this trend here and this trend here. Not that there's not trades in here. I'm just saying in terms of trends, it was really hard to catch maybe a little bit of a downtrend here, a little bit of an uptrend as well. But these sort of really kind of cancel each other out, right? So we really had two big macro trends, a couple of micro trends. Guys, best settings for Renko, your mileage may vary. I will be happy. I use a 3-minute, and then let me go ahead and pull up the settings so you guys can see. There's my settings. Okay. Hold on, I gotta catch up on questions here. All right. So some other ways we can identify these as well. The slope of VWAP. Or do I have my VWAP slope tool set up? Yeah, there we go. So like here, and this is a paid indicator. It's not mine. It's somebody else's. So but there are slope indicators for either moving averages and or VWAP. So you see, guys, and I've shrunk this up quite a bit. So as long as VWAP is sloping down, you can consider that a type of downtrend, right? And as VWAP, it never really kind of got just to the point of sloping up at any point, except very late in the day. That was kind of after hours. Again, so things like VWAP slope, things like Renko, things like candles, just individual candles, guys, making you know, higher highs each candle or lower lows each candle, right? As long as we're, you know, the candles are consistently making higher highs as they go, right? So kind of what we see for not all, but partially in there, or making lower lows like we see in here, okay? There are things like, do I have my ribbons up here? I don't think I do. No, I don't. I used to use a lot of moving averages, guys, and moving average crossovers. I use moving average ribbons now because they kind of help not only determine a trend, but a strength of a trend. I don't have those on TradingView. Those are on my Edge Pro, and I don't have that loaded up on my studio down here. I'll get to that at some point. But moving average ribbons are like a series of moving averages, kind of, you know, they have a steady moving average, but then they have, you know, and whether the lines are packed together or spread apart, that can give you an indication of how strong the trend is. I encourage you to look into those. In fact, maybe I'll do a future event on those. Hold on, guys, just catching up on messages here. What are your thoughts on tick charts? I've been liking to see where the price shelves develop. I'm not. Again, I don't personally use tick charts. I've almost never used them, so I really have no opinion on them. Market profile is something that I'm just kind of getting into at this point. TPO type stuff, the letters, all of that. I've just kind of started looking into that in the last 6 months. And because I trade so much during the day, I only have a few hours a week to do kind of like trader development and learning stuff. So that's something I'm getting into, and I'm finding some things. I'm not necessarily finding anything that I'm going to make like a trade setup off of, but I'm finding some really interesting things in TPO charts and market profile charts that assist what I'm already doing, right? In fact, I just was watching a couple of videos that talk about a relationship between and it's a completely different trading methodology, and it's the second time that I've heard somebody talk about the relationship between trading profile and VWAP. And I'm a VWAP practitioner. I'm very, very into VWAP and all of that. I've been using that way back even in my stock days. So it's a really good. It translates very well. I need to make a VWAP course. I have a short course just on a VWAP based setup, but I need to do a bigger course on that at some point. Where are we at? 3:30 here. So again, yeah. Again, with tick charts, there's as Isham said, some may charge more for them. First of all, guys, never be afraid to pay a little extra for something that will be a good tool to you. Just make sure that it will, and make sure it's something that you're not paying like $1,200 annually for it. Without something if something's going to cost you more than a couple $100 per month, guys, make sure it either offers a free or discounted trial so you can give it a try. Don't pay annually for something, or don't pay more than a couple $100 a month for something without getting a taste of it or seeing how it works. And guys, I've been in trade education a while. I've worked for many different companies. Right now I basically sell $50 courses, but I've been in companies that sell $5,000 mentorship programs, right? And people always want to talk about the cost of something like that, but if it helps you, that much, it's worth whatever you pay for it, right? Don't be too hesitant. I said, be hesitant to spend a ton of money on something without giving it a try. But I've used a bunch of things over the years that sometimes when I was in my stock days, I had a couple indicators that total cost me about $300 a month on them, right? But they made me a couple thousand per month just on those indicators. So they more than paid for themselves. Okay, so just, that's another reason why I tell people it's always good to have, if you're somebody who just has to scrape together enough money for an eval and, you're not really, and then you blow it out in 3 or 4 days, you got to, spend another month scraping the money together. Take a couple of months, guys, practice on the sim and come back when you have enough to pay for a couple of months, right? And trading journal software and all that kind of stuff, right? All right. So I'm trying to think. I don't really have much else when it comes to the trends. I just wanted to give you guys. So again, just a couple of. Pardon my bad. mouse handwriting. But so just some tools. We've got candles, basic candles, making higher highs, higher lows. Renko charts are very good to see trend. Okay. VWAP. So, like, for example, are we above VWAP? Nope, didn't want to do that. Or are we below VWAP, right? If we're below VWAP and we're dropping, we're definitely in a downtrend. If we're above VWAP and we're curling up, we're definitely in an uptrend, right? Also VWAP slope. Okay, but again, don't forget the technical definition of a trend. So guys, you're typically not going to see me, I'm not saying never, but up here is +2 standard deviation off of VWAP. If this line is straight, you know, I may take a short trade up here if I find a setup that I really like. But if this is going like this and expanding and going up, you're not going to see me take shorts up here, right? And same thing down here. If we're down here, you're not going to see me necessarily take longs, right? Why? Because at that point, I'm trading against a big macro trend, right? Is you know, our title today, the trend is your friend till it ends. Okay, you know. Look at what price did today. The gentleman who taught me VWAP refers to this area as the fast lane. And this up here as well. Okay? So when price is in the respective fast lanes, and especially like in this case, look at the slope of everything. Everything's sloping down and we're caught here. That is a downtrend by nearly any definition. There's no chance when the slope of VWAP is this far down that I'm taking any long trade down here. We've got to get above here before I even think about going long, right? So again, as we got up here, then, you know, this is a classic, as I like to call these setups, guys, a break, retest, and go. Okay? It's basically two setups when it comes to areas of support or resistance, guys. Let me throw a horizontal line up here. Okay, we have what I call a break, retest, and go. We also have a test, retrace, and go. Or you can put them together. This is a beautiful setup when it happens, guys. Break, or excuse me. We fail, retrace, go, retest, go. Okay, something like this, I'm going to be here every day of the week, right? Or I may get in half here. Because again, I know we're getting a little off topic here. What is one of the biggest principles of support and resistance? Previous support becomes resistance. Previous resistance becomes support, right? So something this juicy, or something like this, I'll take that 10 times out of 10. Okay. Okay, so Frederick said it's hard to identify these trends when you are trading. So much distractions, price action, etc. If it's hard to identify trends when you're trading, you're probably processing too much information. Okay, I'll talk to people. You know, when I do one-on-one coaching sessions, one of the first things people will tell you this. I'm going to ask, tell me a little bit about yourself as a trader, and then we're going to talk about what styles, what systems, what setups you use, right? If we need to. Sometimes we get right into psychology issues and things like that. And one of the things that usually newer traders, this is actually a problem not as many newer traders have as you think. Sometimes they're not processing enough information, right? They're only looking at one or two things. You shouldn't be looking at 20 things. If you can't process whether a trend's going on and whether you should participate in it or wait for the trend to stop and then reverse, you're processing too much information. Get some stuff off your screen. You know, the ideal trading student would be somebody who, has maybe 6 months to trade. You know, they've got some money. They take a sabbatical from their job, whatever, and they have 6 months before they they have enough money saved up to live comfortably for 6 months. The first thing I would do with those people like that is I tell them to spend just an entire month with just candlesticks. Don't trade, or paper trade, but just use candlesticks. Then we're going to add VWAP. Then we're going to add maybe some moving averages or things like that, but gradually build out your charts, right? There are some traders that trade very well that have 100 lines on their chart, and that's fine. If anything that somebody's doing where they're consistently profitable, I mean week over week, month over month, year over year, that works. By definition, that works. But I can't tell you how many traders that newer traders, right? People have been trading 2 or 3 months, that I'll look at their chart and it looks like this. Moving average here, we got MACD down here, and I'll just look at them like, what are you doing? Tell me how you use all this. And and in most situations they can't. Okay? So start simple, and if you're unable to identify any trends, guys, you're processing too much information. If you're newer to trading, if you're in your first 6 months of trading and you're really struggling to read the charts and read the price action, let me just give you this tip, right? Because I always like to leave some concrete tips with this. Okay? Get everything off your chart except candlesticks and VWAP. Anyone that has TradingView, this is the VWAP that I use. It's called the VWAP. Okay, some of these are locked behind a paywall, but this one here is free. It's just VWAP intraday. Okay, just start right there. Oh crap, I meant to get rid of the drawings. Okay, so there you go. And that's all to have on your chart for a couple of weeks. And just watch how price interacts with VWAP, right? Watch how price can get caught in the fast lanes. Okay? Just observe for a couple of weeks with nothing but this stuff on your chart. All right? All right, guys, I'm giving you the 2-minute warning to sign up for our giveaway. You guys are asking great questions. I feel like I just want to take some questions here. Because you guys, like I said, when I have a group asking great questions, I really want to stick with that, because there was nothing, guys, that annoys me more in this business. And when I first started, that you go to attend a webinar and somebody asks for like an hour of your time, and they may give you great information, but then they don't take questions. That annoys the crap out of me, right? You sit through an hour, they sell you something, and then they don't want to take questions, right? And then sometimes I come in here with offers and courses, and I don't have anything today, but the link is up here, guys. Link is right here. It's at the top of the chat. So yeah, you've got 2 more minutes to sign up, and then we're going to spin the wheel o' names. But in the meantime, guys, I will spend the next couple of minutes taking questions. So, question, can you guide us through your trades today and entries for more knowledge? I don't have all the stuff, again, that I need on this computer, but I will. If you guys sign up for my Discord, I have a Discord server too. It's not like Blue Skies. It's completely different. Like Blue Skies is active during the trading day. You've got live trading with Mike in there. You've got other stuff going on. Mine is just one. It's more of a message board. You come check it out once or twice a day. I post both examples of trades I've taken or trades I didn't take that are my setups in there. Let me get you a link to sign. I don't know if this will work in the chat or not. I can put it in the Blue Sky Discord. Yeah, that works. So there's an invite to my Discord, guys. And again, I think my server complements Blue Skies very well. You go to Blue Skies during the day, watch the stuff there, participate in events like this. Check I always say I design mine to be checked twice a day. Check it in the morning before the market starts. Check it if I have an announcement or something, I don't at everybody very often on that, maybe 3-4 times a week. So you're not going to wake up to 18 notifications from my particular server. The other thing, guys, and I want to. Because sometimes I'm in a trade and, I try to not take more than 1 to 2 trades at a time. So maybe there's a trade, or maybe there's a trade I just missed, guys, right? And I didn't see it at a particular time. And so I still want to at least look at that trade, even if I missed it, right? That happens. So yeah. Also, I want to tell you guys something I'm working on. And this is guys. I've been in the education business a while, and I'm always like, what's like? I always want to stay on the edge of that, on the cutting edge of that, right? And there's some things, like, I never want somebody to pay $5,000 for a video course or something like that, guys, right? And I'm honest and upfront about, a lot of this stuff. Like, guys, people ask, like, how much do you make versus education? And I can tell you there's a lot of people in this business that literally make 100 times in education what they do in trading. I will flat out tell you I've made about $9,000 in education fees this year. That's it. It's my vacation fund. It's a side hustle. I'm a full-time trader. I'm a part-time trading educator. It didn't used to be the case. It used to be the flipped around when I was a swing trader. Because I had a lot more time. Now I'm a day trader. I got to be at my screens. I got to be reviewing and sharpening my playbooks and all that kind of stuff. So I have no problem answering that question. But one of the things I want to do in 2024, I've been a part of a lot of, there's live trading rooms and stuff, like I said, Mike trades in the Blue Sky server every day. And those are really helpful. Those can be, to watch somebody else trade is very, very helpful when they know what they're doing, right? And you've got that here. So I encourage you to check that out. But there's a whole community aspect to trading that I think doesn't get serviced as much as it needs to, right? I was part of a small group of traders when I first started that we were all the same education level and in terms of trading. And we spent about 2 years meeting twice a week for about an hour, reviewing our trades with each other and helping each other in a lot of different ways, right? We built each other up. Of the 6 members of that group, 4 are still actively trading and trading profitably. One, we have no idea what happened to him. He fell off. And the other one, she took a 7-figure job with an accounting company, so she didn't have time to trade nor needed the money anymore. Okay, so, but community is an aspect we don't talk about this. And the Blue Sky server is great during the day, right, guys? Because there's active stuff going on in there, and I'm sure you all are part of other servers and this and that. But I want to build a community that works a little bit outside of the markets in 2024. And I have a couple of ideas of what that's going to look like, but it's not going to be a Discord server. It's going to be, my website has a community feature built into it that I'm just learning about and playing around. So I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to unveil that at the end of the month. But I really want to ask you guys, what does that look like to you? Okay, because there's so many aspects of this that are flexible, and so it makes sense that what I envision is a community at the end of the trading day. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. You get up, you go catch up, go let the dog out, go pick your kids up, whatever. But like later in the day, you've done your journaling, that you can go check in with the community. You can post your, if you want your journal stuff, you can give feedback on this or that. You can share, struggles and successes, share playbooks, all that kind of stuff. And I don't want it to be as like noisy and as hectic as a Discord room, but I want to build it out as almost kind of a hybrid of a Discord room and kind of an old school message board, right? So I'm in the process of playing around with the features that are already included on my site, and it's going to be something, it'll be a subscription thing, guys, but it'll be cheap. It's going to be way under $100 a month, so don't think it's something that allows me to provide a little mentorship to people as a group. It allows the group to interact with each other. So if you have any suggestions on that, please reach out to me. You can. My name is Trader Matt in my Discord, or you can just put him in the. I'm probably going to make an announcement on this in my Discord in the next couple of days for all of you that join. And any feedback that you have would be appreciated, because I want it to be a community. Everything is just. in this business is the educator builds a course, a trading room, a community, whatever, and then people go to it. I know this sounds corny. I know this sounds like, but I want something that the community can kind of build together. So I don't know. Well, I don't know what form it's going to take, and I'm sure I will spend several months tweaking it and adding to it and all of that. But I don't want to surprise anyone on this in a couple weeks. But I'm gonna launch it in 2024, and it'll be, like I said, it'll be very reasonably priced, because I just want to build out a little bit of a community for people to help, for me to help you and you guys to help each other, because that is, I've tried a lot of different Discord communities and Facebook communities over the years. Most of them are worthless. So stay tuned on that, guys. I'll make announcements in my server about that as well. But just think on that. So in the next few days, as you're, like tomorrow, well, if tomorrow's a Friday, but like next Monday, when the trading day is done, like what would help you get ready for the next day? What would help you put your struggles behind you for the next day, or even put your successes behind you for the next day, right? And process the day, meet together. We can do some live events like this. We just think about it, guys, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, it is time for our giveaway. So let me go. The signups are now closed. Let me go in and grab the names, and then we will spin the wheel of names. Okay. So let me grab these here. All right, guys, so we're going to be spinning the wheel twice. Both of these are for 1 month subscriptions to the $25,000 eval account with Blue Sky Trading Company. All right, so let us spin the wheel of names. 2 spins. Here's the first one. Guntaya Hajar. If I'm butchering that, my apologies. That is our first winner. So congratulations to you. You don't need to do anything. Blue Sky will reach out and get you all set up. All right, you can't win twice, so we boot you off the wheel. Let's spin it again. CCJL4CT. Congratulations. All right, guys. Let me see if there are any questions to catch up on. Yeah, Umar, you can ask questions on my Discord about Renko stuff. I'm actually heading out right after this. I'll be trading tomorrow, but I'm gonna be out of town for a few days. I'll still be trading. I'll be available, but if I don't answer right away, just that's why. Got some stuff to do. All right, my friends, thank you for tuning in to another edition of our Thursday webinars. I'm going to be sitting down and figuring out a couple of things with the Blue Sky guys, but stay tuned, guys. We may have some things to talk about, some very positive things to talk about very soon. But other than that, have a great rest of your day. Again, my name's Matt. I'm the head of trading education at Teresias Trading. You're welcome to join my server. Again, it's not a busy server. You do the Blue Sky server during the day. Come see what we got going on in the evening. I'm going to start doing some events in there as well in 2024. Probably just some Q&A stuff, maybe 2-3 times a month. But other than that, have a great rest of your day, guys. And I will see you around. Have a good one.